this is your girl Wakeji Kamore and welcome to Reflections by Wakeji Kamore. We are currently going through the book of 1 Samuel and we're doing this chapter by chapter. So it'll be nice for you to listen to the end because I'll be sharing my key takeouts from the chapter that we'll be reading today at the end of this recording. Also remember to subscribe, to share this with someone else, and to also click the notification bell so that you never miss any new recording. We're in the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 15, which I'll be reading from the NLT version. So karibu sana and follow through the story. So this is a continuation of Saul's conquests. Saul was appointed by God specifically to deliver the Israelites from their oppressors. And these oppressors were the Philistines, the Ammonites, and all those other nations that the Israelites had not completely destroyed as they had been instructed by God by the time they were entering the promised land. So anyway, let us read and see what happens on this specific day. One day, Samuel said to Saul, you guys remember who Samuel is? Samuel is a prophet, he's a judge, and Saul is a king. Sometimes I know I mix the two up, but I'd like to just make that clarification. So Samuel is a prophet, and he's one who said to Saul, it was the Lord who told me to anoint you as king of his people, Israel. Now listen to this message from the Lord. This is what the Lord of heaven's army has declared. I have decided to settle accounts with the nation of Amalek for opposing Israelites when they came from Egypt. Now go and completely destroy the entire Amalek nation. The men, the women, the children, the babies, the cattle, the sheep, the goats, the camels, and the donkey. In short, he was given a straight, clear instructions. Go and destroy the Amalek nation. Kill a kid too. Don't spare anything. All right, let us see whether Saul will obey. So Saul mobilized his army at Telaim. There were 200,000 soldiers from Israel and 10,000 men from Judah. Then Saul and his army went to a town of the Amalekites and lay in wait in the valley. Saul sent this warning to the Kenites: move away from where the Amalekites live, or you will die with them. For you showed kindness to all the people of Israel when they came from Egypt. So the Kenites packed up and left. I'm like, when they're packing up and left, the Amalekites are not wondering, why this one's packing up and leaving? But anyway, so they packed up and they left. Then Saul slaughtered the Amalekites from Havilah. Havilah is actually, there's a place in Sakana called Havilah, so I'm actually shocked to find it here in the Bible. So then Saul slaughtered Amalekites from Havilah all the way to Shur, east of Egypt. He captured Agag, the Amalekite king, but completely destroyed everyone else. Saul and his men spared Agag's life. Mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, and then kept the best of the sheep and the goat and the cat and the fat calves and lambs. Everything. In fact, everything that appealed to them. They destroyed only what was worthless and of poor quality. So, are they following God's instruction there? No, they are not. They're doing their own things. Then the Lord said to Samuel, I am sorry that I ever made Saul king, for he has not been loyal to me, and he has refused to obey my command. Samuel was so deeply moved when he heard this that he cried out to the Lord all night. Early the next morning, Samuel went to find Saul. Someone told him Saul went to the town of Carmel to set up a monument for himself. Then he went on to Gilgal. When Samuel finally found Saul greeted him cheerfully. May the Lord bless you, he said. I have carried out the Lord's command. Then what is all the bleating of sheep and goats and lowing of cattle I hear? Samuel demanded. It's true that the army spared the best of the sheep, the goat, and the cattle, Saul admitted. But they are going to sacrifice to the Lord your God. We have destroyed everything else. And in short, anasema, we spared this one so that we can sacrifice them to the Lord. But did the Lord tell you he wanted that sacrifice? Did he tell you that? No. Was that the instruction? No. Then Samuel said to Saul, Stop. Listen to what the Lord told me last night. What did he tell you? Saul asked. And Samuel told him, although you may think little of yourself, are you not the leader of the tribe of Israel? The Lord has anointed you king of Israel. And the Lord sent you on a mission and told you, go and completely destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, until they are all dead. Why haven't you obeyed the Lord? Why did you rush for the plunder and do what was evil in the Lord's sight? Saul insisted, but I did obey the Lord. I carried out the mission he gave me. I brought back King Agag. Nani alikwambia ulete King Agag? But I destroyed everyone else. Then my troops brought in the best of the sheep, the goats, the cattle, the plunder to sacrifice to the Lord your God at Gilgal. But Samuel replied, what is more pleasing to the Lord? Your burnt offerings and sacrifices, or your obedience to his voice? What is more important and more pleasing? Is it your burnt offering, or is it your obedience to his voice? Listen, obedience is better than sacrifice. And submission is better than offering your fat of rams. Rebellion is as sinful as witchcraft, and stubbornness as bad as worshipping idols. So because you have rejected the command of the Lord, he has rejected you as king. So Saul admitted to Samuel, yes, I have sinned. I have disobeyed your instructions and the Lord's commands, for I was afraid that the people and did what they demanded. But now, please forgive my sin and come back with me so that I may worship the Lord. But Samuel replied, I will not go back with you, since you have rejected the Lord's command. He has rejected you as king of Israel. As Samuel turned to go, Saul tried to hold him back and tore the hem of his robe. And Samuel said to him, the Lord has torn the kingdom of Israel from you today and has given it to someone else, and who is better than you. And he who is the glory of Israel will not lie, nor will he change his mind, for he is not human that he should change his mind. Then Saul pleaded again, I know I have sinned, but please at least honor me before the elders of my people and before Israel by coming back with me so that I may worship the Lord your God. So Samuel finally agreed and went back with him, and Saul worshipped the Lord. Okay, let me just finish the chapter before I start giving my takeout. Then Samuel said, bring King Agag to me. Agag arrived full of hope, and he thought, surely the worst is over. I have been spared. But Samuel said, as your sword has killed the sons of many mothers, now your mother will be childless. And Samuel cut Agag to pieces before the Lord your God. You thought that Samuel is just a priest and a prophet. My goodness, this guy is also ruthless. He has cut Agag into pieces. Then Samuel went home to Ramah, and Saul returned to his house at Gibeah of Saul. Samuel never went to meet with Saul again, but he mourned constantly for him, and the Lord was sorry that he ever made Saul king of Israel. I feel like the problem with Saul is that, number one, he never recognized God as his God. He kept saying, worshiping your God. When he was talking to Samuel, he kept saying, but I'm going to sacrifice to your God, but I'm going to worship your God. He never said my God. It was never his God. It was always the God of Samuel, not the God, his own God. And probably that is where the problem came from, because he never really acknowledged God to be his God. So he was just like, why am I following these commands to the T? I can just take plunder and whatever. Anyway, so now the thing is, Saul disobeyed, and he kept the best of the sheep, the goat, the cattle, and the fat calves, and the lambs, and everything that was appealing to him, and then destroyed only what was worthless and of poor quality. And then he later claimed that he spared these animals so that he could make sacrifice to the God of Samuel. Well, this guy, it's like he just can't follow simple instructions. Saul obeyed part of what God commanded, but not all. And with that, he lost his kingdom, and he learned a valuable lesson. To obey God is better than to offer sacrifice. You see the thing, God wants nothing less of our full loyalty and obedience. Jesus said, if you love me, keep my commands. And that this can be found in John chapter 14 verse 15, where Jesus is saying, if you love me, keep my command. We obey God because we love him. And you see, the thing is, actually that's the problem, that Saul did not know God and love God enough for him to obey him. He actually regarded him as a God of Samuel. So we obey God because we know him and we love him. He requires full obedience from his children because it is what is best for us and it fulfills his purpose. As you read through the Bible, keep a list of the things that God instructs you to do. Remember that not every command in the Bible is, of course, directly for you, but like killing the Amalekites, that's definitely not for you. But the principles are applicable. So the reflection question of today would be, in what area of your life are you giving only partial obedience? In what area of your life are you giving partial obedience? Remember that the challenge is to strive for full obedience. Not 50%, not 70%, not 90%, but 100%. This is your girl Wakeji Kamore, and this has been Reflections by Wakeji Kamore. See you tomorrow.